welcome.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
My good friend, author now. Author. The last time I met you, now she's glad. Thank you for having me back.
Yes.
So that we can continue this work together.
Yes, and we all have a story to tell. However, I had the courage to put it on paper. So you can all be an author.
Yes.
Because once we are alive, we do have something to share.
We all have a story to tell.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's been a minute, and I know a lot has been going on. So tell us about you.
I've taken a journey of self-reflection. So I've been away from the media and society for a while just to better understand myself so I can be a better leader and a better mentor for our youth and our community. So now I'm back. I have so much going on, and thank you for being one of our first media partners to allow me to share my story.
Always a pleasure. Well, Dr. Francois has been my guest several times on my radio talk show called Cause Femme, that means Women's Issues. And now we are working together in helping our youth understand themselves. And I know if you're a parent, you probably are having a lot of challenges to make sure that your kids stay focused.
Yep.
So,
right.
You've been in the school system for a very long time, Dr. Francis.
Yes.
Work with a lot of youth, educating our youth, educating our generation of doctors and lawyers and, whatever they choose to be in life. So I know that you also have a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
Tell us more about what you're doing in the community.
Well, I have 5 years ago, I decided to start the Center for Learning, Innovation, and Change. It has gone through many manifestations, and we started off as Francois Education and Mentoring Services. But the Center for Learning, Innovation, and Change allows me to address the youth with a holistic approach. So it's not just youth. It's like you said, it's parents, it's higher ed, it's law enforcement, it's mental health. So CLICK, as I call it, CLICK, CLICE, Center for Learning, Innovation, and Change. We click up for change. We click up for change in our youth. We click up for change in our parenting. We click up for change in our community, civil rights, mental health. Again, a huge gamut of issues that our youth go through on a daily basis.
I'm glad that you are covering all these areas that our kids are facing nowadays, and social media. Yes. I want to start with education. However, social media seems to be doing a lot of educating.
They're educating our youth now.
Big part of educating our youth.
So what we have to do with social media, we cannot poo-poo it. We cannot take, they tried banning TikTok. There's an age limit that our kids can be on social media now. We have to embrace the social media. We have to infiltrate. I heard this one of my elders. You have to infiltrate the youth. You have to like what the youth likes, their music, the social media, and turn it around. Turn it around to benefit them, to use it as a tool to engage our youth. Our youth, they don't listen to lecturing. They don't listen to, when we were growing up, you could sit in a classroom for an hour or two. Our youth, the mind space and their attention span, 2 minutes. You got to get to them in 2 minutes. So why not use social media to benefit, to build a relationship with our youth instead of, get off of social media, get off Facebook, get off of Twitter. Let's use it to our benefit.
Talking about 2 minutes, it's not just the youth. Like our friends that are watching, make sure you subscribe to our channel, Front Desk Media, because I know that everybody's attention span is just like so short. Yes. And for you that are watching, it is very important that you use the tools that you have to empower your kids and yourself, because it's a lot out there. However,
now, I do want to preface this. Yeah. You still need to monitor your kids' social media. I'm not telling you to give them a free rein because there's so much evil out here in the world, and they use social media to directly impact our youth. So I'm not saying don't monitor it, but just use it as a tool that you can have a conversation with our kids.
Yes, yes. And I agree, completely agree with you. However, with Alliance for Progress, the nonprofit organization that I am a founder of, we focusing on empowering parents, especially to help parents become the leader of their homes. However, I have noticed that some parents, they need to be monitored
They
as
need to
well.
they need to be mentored.
Or
Our parents
mentored.
need to be mentored. I'm a parent. I still need to be mentored, and I'm sure you wouldn't think you're above being mentored as a parent as well. It's always evolving. Parenting is always evolving, so we have to evolve with our society, our world, our kids. If you're in the mindset of my parents raised me this way, or when I grew up, one thing that always gets me is when I hear an elder say, back in my days, we did it this way. We're not back in your days. Life has evolved, society has evolved, our youth has evolved. So as parents, we need to evolve, we need to be mentored, and that's something that we do with Click, and I'm sure that you do with Alliance for Progress as well.
Yes, and this is definitely something that needs to be done. I am here with you.
Yes.
Helping you.
Yes, thank you.
And empowering whomever that we can. I am doing my part with Alliance for Progress and also the executive board and the other people helping me do the work.
Right.
There is a need out there.
Huge need.
Because we also are serving immigrant parents that comes here and they feel like, you know what, it's a free country, I can do whatever. Guess what? You cannot do whatever because freedom has a price.
Freedom has a price.
And if freedom has a price, it's best that you pay it forward. And I know that you share the same thing with your youth,
sure.
With the youth program, mentorship program that you're doing, and share with us for the parents that are watching us from all over the world.
Let me get closer
What
here so you can see.
What can they do to make sure that they put their kids in a spectrum or give them the ability to learn from people that will teach them the right path, guide them in the right direction? Because you cannot just let them be and let the teachers do the work for you.
Right. So
we need to have the right intentions for our youth.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I am in a debate now with the parents, not all of my parents, of my mentees. It starts at home.
Yes.
That's the theme for our next session. And it started with, we had a health and wellness session where parents were voicing their concern about the mental health of our kids and what they're learning in school, what they're learning in the community and society, what they're learning from their peers. And one of my parents, an elder, he made the comment that it starts at home. If you don't like what's being taught in the classroom to your kids, you teach them at home. You don't like what's going on in society, and it's hard to control what our kids pick up from their peers. But it starts at, and I totally agree with him. But of course, I had some moms who pushed back. So that led us away from mental health into parenting and a new generation of parents, and how our parents are tenderizing this new generation. They're being soft. They're and that's another thing. You know, our parents being too soft. This friendly parenting that we have now. How is that impacting? But we also have to remember, and parents push back, the mental health of our kids. They're not growing up in the same society as we grew up in. So they have chosen or opted to be more of a friend to their kids. Now, again, this is a debate that's going back and forth. I was raised tough, and I would say, no, I wouldn't. I don't want to raise my son the same way my father raised me.
I understand.
But I learned as tough as my dad and my mom were on me, I gained an understanding of what it means to be accountable, responsible. I was not given a soft, you know, I had chores. I washed the car. I cut our kids don't even know what that means anymore. I joke with my brother all the time. You know, my car needs washing. Maybe I should give my nephew maybe $25 to wash my car. I said my nephew would show me his Cash App and it probably has $2,500. So he'd look at me like, bro, I don't need your $25. But this is the generation of youth that we're raising, and we have to take accountability as parents. Is that I don't blame the kids anymore. I blame the parents. So what do we do? What do parents do? How do you balance that? How do you balance holding them accountable, not allowing them to skate through life, but also making sure that we hold ourselves accountable?
And that's a great segue to our next session.
Okay.
Because we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we definitely need to talk about what do we do to hold our kids accountable.
Parents as well.
Parents as well. What do you do? What do we do to hold our kids accountable and responsible? And my mom used to tell me as a young parent all the time, your kids got to respect you. Stop trying so much about, oh, love, love, love. The love will come. The respect, however, if it's not well established from the beginning, can be a hindrance to your ability of being a good parent.
And their growth. And